God is all-knowing. God will orchestrate your circumstances. He will orchestrate your surroundings to fit his purpose and his design. He is all-knowing, as I just said, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Hi, I'm the one that shares with 2 Cute Life Lessons. So I'm not going to waste your time. We're going to get right into this video, and I'll tell you what I'm talking about. When we stop and look at the life of Ruth, we know that Ruth will become the wife of Boaz. We know she would become the grandmother of David, and she would place herself in the lineage of Jesus Christ. But it is so amazing how she grew up in Moabite. She was a Moabite. Well, I say that she's a Moabite lady, and she grew up where Christianity, Judaism, was not her religion. She did not believe in the same God that her mother-in-law did. She was raised completely different than the way her mother-in-law was raised, that her husband was raised. She had a totally different belief system. But fortunately for her, she was able to meet her husband. She was able to marry him. She inherited this awesome mother-in-law, a mother-in-law she loved so much that she said, where you go, I'll go. Your people will be my people. Basically, she says, where you die, I'm going to die. I'm going with you. She loved her to that extent. So she was fortunate enough to feel this way about her mother-in-law. How many of us can say we have a mother-in-law that we love so much, so deep, that we are willing to leave everything we know behind in order to follow them, in order to be with them, and build a new life, to go somewhere foreign, to go somewhere we've never gone before? How many of us can say that? What Ruth said, just that. And it seems strange when you stop and look at it and you think about it. You say, oh my goodness, God knew from day one, when she was first formed in her mother's belly, that she was going to be in the lineage of Jesus Christ. Remember, God tells us in his word, he says, I knew thee. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. God knows us even from the beginning. I can give you a good example of God orchestrating our circumstances. Well, an incident happened to me recently where I got very upset about something. I was very upset, and I was at a place, and I just got this overwhelming need. I got so frustrated. I had to leave. I said, I have to leave here. I cannot stay here any longer. I just have to go home. So got in my vehicle, drove home. Well, lo and behold, I would later discover that I was sick. I have the flu. I had the flu. And so I did not know I had the flu. I'm like, I have no symptoms. When the doctor came out and she told me, she said, you have the flu. I said, no, I don't. She said, yes, you do. And I thought, I said, oh, God, I thank you that I got angry, that I left, because I didn't want to infect anyone else with flu. Well, God knew. God knew before I knew. He knew from the beginning that this was something that was going to happen to me. So he orchestrated my circumstances. Not saying God wants us to get mad all the time, but he knows what we don't know. He sees what we don't see. He knew from the beginning. And he knew I needed to go home so that I didn't make anyone else sick, so that so that I didn't infect anyone else. God knew this immediately. He knows us. He knows what's going to happen. He knows what motivates us. Before I took the job that I had as an academic interventionist, I was working at a middle school, and my boss volunteered my services to be the coordinator for our intervention at our school. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know what it was. And he gave it to me. It was a lot of work. It was very hard. I was like, what is this? And I had to learn as I went, and I did learn, and I got pretty good at it. And when I look back now, all that hard work, all that suffering at that job, so I thought it was suffering, it was because God was preparing me for the job, the new job that I would eventually take. See, God knows us. He knows exactly what it takes to get us to where we need to go, to get us to do what we need to do. That's again like Ruth. God positioned Ruth right where she needed to be. So she follows her mother-in-law back to her mother-in-law's country. Remember, her mother-in-law sad. She's wanting to die. She said, oh, I left here full. I come back empty. But through the working of events, the Lord had it where Ruth got to go glean in the fields of Boaz. She catches his attention. And we all know the rest of the story, where she ends up sleeping at his feet. He ends up marrying her. And again, She is up in the lineage of Jesus Christ. Trust me, when God formed Boaz, also in his mother's womb, he knew he was going to allow him to meet this woman. He knew he was just the right guy. He put him in just the right place at just the right time. And so God is doing the same thing with us. He's putting us in just the right place at just the right time. He is orchestrating our circumstances. He's orchestrating the people around us. Sometimes we meet people, we say, gosh, why did I meet that person? I don't even understand. Well, sometimes it's not for you. Sometimes it's for them. But there are no coincidences. God knows exactly what he's doing. He knows the end from the beginning. So trust and believe that he has your future and your past in his hands. So we don't have to worry. God knows he is working everything out for your good, and keep that in mind. Be with these thoughts. If you have not already, be sure to give my video a like, a thumbs up, that you subscribe, and that you continue to listen to me so I can give you more spiritual truth. I'll see you guys in the next video.